Kaj, what can you tell us about the area in which this hijacking's taken place?
Well, it appears that the hijacking took place about 200 kilometers northeast of Puntland, and Puntland is a portion of in northern Somalia, central Somalia. But what's important to understand here is that Somalia itself is one of the most dangerous, lawless areas in the world, and that's what breeds the piracy that you see taking place.
Bearing that in mind, would the people on board, would the crew members have been prepared for this kind of thing?
I mean, piracy has increased so much in the region that all of the ships transiting through the Gulf of Aden are aware of the threat of piracy, but it's still, with a skeleton crew, with limited crew, it makes it difficult to defend.
Tell us about the Somali pirates. How do they work? Are they up for negotiation? Will they demand a ransom, for example?
Absolutely, they're up for negotiation. You have to remember that for them, this is a business. Last year, they took in somewhere between $30 and $50 million in ransom money. So there's a system. They know exactly who to call for the insurance representatives, and the negotiations will begin shortly.
But how does it work? We're talking about waters in which different governments can get involved. You've got 20 American crew members on board. There are some finer politics that get involved in these sorts of incidents.
There are, absolutely, and you're absolutely right to point out that there are coalition forces in the region right now. There's 20-odd vessels cruising. The Americans have a combined Task Force 151 out there with several naval war vessels patrolling the coast. That being said, the tyranny of distance in the region, it's still a region the size of Texas, 1.1 million square miles, so it's difficult to actually prevent the piracy attacks. As far as the political end of the spectrum, you're right, certainly is any time that there are American citizens taken hostage, the State Department and the American government will be paying attention. However, in this case, the option set is limited in terms of how you can impact the situation, and it's most likely to play out through front channel ransom negotiations, vice back channel State Department negotiations.
When you talk about front channel ransom negotiations, who actually sits down and negotiates with the pirates?
Quite often in this case there have been proxy representatives of the shipping companies and the insurance companies who will be handling the negotiations. Again, this is not new to the pirates. They've had a tremendous amount of success in the last year or two doing this, and they've literally developed a system where they know exactly who to call, and once a price is settled and agreed upon, the ransom money will either be most likely parachuted in or less likely hand carried in and then distributed among both the pirates themselves, the foot soldiers if you will, and the clan leaders, the militia leaders who are traditionally in charge of the pirates.
But what are analysts saying about this kind of thing? It seems as if we're hearing about these hijackings more and more frequently. If these pirates are able to sit down, have negotiations, possibly even get ransom money, won't they just keep going?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's certainly the problem of incentivizing the pirates, but again, $50 million in ransom last year, there's plenty of incentive. This is a lucrative, the most lucrative business in the poorest country in the world. A quick anecdote is that in Bosaso, in Puntland, where the pirates are from, all of the women in Somalia are flocking to these areas to marry a pirate. And you can see for pirates this is about women, money, and prestige, and it's unlikely that you're going to see it diminish anytime soon.